So Mendeleev, what he did during his period, sorry, yes, during his period, totally 63 elements were discovered. We were knew about 63 elements were discovered, and what he did, he collected chemical properties of those elements. He did an experiment. He collected lot of chemical properties. So mainly in chemical properties, he collected the compounds of elements with hydrogen and oxygen. What he did, he just took an element. Let's say if we have a sodium, he made sodium to react with oxygen, and he collected oxide of sodium. He took that formula of sodium, and he took that sodium and he made that sodium to react with hydrogen, and he collected the hydride formula of that sodium. Like this he did this experiment, and he collected oxides and hydrides. He collected oxides and hydrides of all the 63 elements, oxides and hydrides of all the 63 elements were known during that. So then what he did, he took 63 cards, he took 63 cards, and he started writing all chemical properties here. He started writing oxides, hydrides, and he started writing the uh, atomic mass. He started writing mass of individual element. Like that, he prepared all the 63 cards. After that, what he did, he started arranging those 60. Suppose here we have a 63 cards. Let's take this. I have all the 63 cards over here, and he has written everything here, all the oxides and hydrides and atomic mass, that chemical properties and all of them. So then what he did, after preparing all these 63 informative 63 cards, and first he kept in his mind, first he tried to arrange all of them in increasing order of their atomic mass. First base he took is, he tried to arrange all of them in increasing order of their atomic mass. Along with that, he mainly concentrated on the chemical properties, especially hydrides and oxides of them. He started comparing hydrides and oxides of chemical properties of every element. And with doing all these two simultaneous activity, he started arranging cards. Let's say he took this card and he placed it here. Let's say it is a hydrogen card. He placed it on the table, or it may be on the wall. Then when once he take and he took second card, first card he just simply placed it in one place, and he took his second card. Let's say it is helium was not discovered, noble gases were not discovered during his period. So lithium was the next one. He took that lithium card, and before placing that lithium, and he decided that 2 rows. So once he take this, he decided that, so if I find similar chemical properties, when I compare this element, here is taken lithium, right? What he has decided, when he compared the chemical properties of lithium with the existing element, if he found the chemical properties of lithium and this element was similar, and he planned to place it below this. And if he find different chemical properties, then he planned to place in the row first. Similar properties element, what he did, similar properties element, similar property elements having similar properties, he started placing in a one below the other, one below the other. And dissimilar properties elements he started placing in a horizontal row. Dissimilar property elements is placed in a placing in a horizontal row. Okay, like that, once he arranged all the 63 cards, okay, this here we see hydrogen. First he took hydrogen. Let me change the color of the pen. Okay, first he took hydrogen, he placed a hydrogen here. Then after that he got a lithium, and he found that the chemical properties, what are the chemical properties mainly? He has collected hydride and oxide, hydride and oxide of all the elements. What he did, he compared the hydride of lithium and oxide of lithium with the hydride of hydrogen and oxygen. He found that the chemical formula of hydrides of hydrogen and oxides of hydrogen were exactly matching the hydrides of lithium and oxides of lithium. So that what he did, he placed the lithium below hydrogen. See here, you can see this. He is placing, and if you can see that the second point what he was discussing, right, that is increasing order of their atomic mass. Yes, after 1.0 he has got that 6.9, which is more than that, and he was following that also. This is the one thing. Before placing element, he compared the chemical properties, and he also tried to maintain the increasing order of their atomic masses. These are the two important points. By keeping in his mind, he started playing. After that he got a beryllium, and he compared hydrides of beryllium, and he found that the hydrides and oxides of beryllium were not matching with the lithium, and hence he placed it next to it, that is in horizontal row. See here, and its atomic mass is also increasing. See here, increasing order. Like that, he took boron, and he found dissimilar chemical properties. Then he placed it in horizontal row. Like that, he got a carbon, then he placed it in a horizontal. Like he got a nitrogen, then he placed it here. Then he got oxygen in a horizontal row. Then he got a fluorine, and then he placed it. This is also hence he placed it in horizontal row. Once he get a sodium, he found that the hydrides and sodium oxides, hydride formula and oxide formula of sodium was exactly matching with the hydrides and oxides formula of hydrogen lithium. So he placed sodium exactly below the hydrogen and lithium column. Okay, then he took a magnesium card which was showing the same hydride and oxide formulas to beryllium. So he placed magnesium exactly below the beryllium, and he was also maintaining increasing order of their atomic mass. See, if you see 1.0, 6.9, the atomic mass was keep on increasing. See till here. Okay, 23 after 24. Then he took aluminum which was showing exact property to the boron. He placed behind the boron. Then he took silicon which was showing the property exactly equal to the carbon. He placed it here. So like that he did. So while he was doing, he was keeping that increasing order of atomic mass, right? He found some problem here. There is a large jump. He found a large jump in the atomic mass. Large jump in atomic mass of elements. Large jump in atomic mass of an element. So that you can see here 40.1 to 47.1. This is very large gap, right? 40 to 47. This is very large gap. He thought that we may find some elements. We may discover some elements in the future which has atomic mass between this range. We may find some elements which has atomic mass of 42. We may find some elements which have atomic mass of 45. Like that he thought, and he left some gaps here. See, you can find the gap here. In this gap, if we find an element which is having 42 atomic mass, we can place here. If we find an element which is having atomic mass of 43, we can place here. Without disturbing a table, without altering a table, we can place them easily. By keeping that point, he left some spaces here. Where he left the space? Where he found a large jump in atomic mass. See here also you can see from 60.4 to 74.5. This is also very large jump in the atomic mass. 65.4 to 74. It is totally a very large gap between the atomic mass of these two elements. He thought that we may find an element which has atomic mass between this range. So he thought that it is better to leave some white spaces so that we cannot alter the table in the future. Once these elements were discovered, we can easily put those tables in this table. We can easily place, right, without altering anything. So this is the idea which he had in his mind. Like that, he placed all these elements. Okay, to place, because of to fill this large gap difference in the atomic masses, he left a lot of slots here. See, lot of empty slots. He let lot of empty slots. Okay, this is one thing. Next, what he did, and even he guessed the properties of three elements. He tried to give definition for the empty slots. So he gave a definition for three empty slots, one, and he gave name of them, and he predicted their atomic masses, and he predicted their chemical properties also, and even he predicted the name of those elements. He gave the name as Eka for one empty slot. He gave the name as Eka boron, Eka silicon, and Eka aluminium. So these are the three important empty slots. He guessed this. Actually, he didn't discover this element. He said that in future we are going to discover elements which has a similar property to aluminium. We will definitely discover element which has a similar property to silicon, and we'll definitely discover an element which has a similar property to boron. He guessed that, and even he guessed the chemical properties of those things also. Okay, later on those were proved. Later on his words was proved, and elements were discovered on this also. Okay, this is one more important. First important point of this Mendeleev periodic table is lot of empty slots he left because of to fill the large jump in the atomic mass. Second one, he tried to give a definition for the empty slots. In that process, he guessed the three elements. Let's say Eka boron and Eka silicon. Later on, those were discovered also. We will see those things in just 2 to 3 minutes. Next properties is, next important thing is, he left empty space. He left a separate space for halogens, separate space for, he left separate empty space for noble gases or inert gases which may discover in the future. If the discovery of noble gases should not affect this table, and later on that has also happened. We have discovered so many noble gases like some helium, neon, argon, krypton, okay, xenon, etc. These all are the elements which are called noble gases. They are very stable in nature. Okay, and he guessed that element. We may find the elements which are very stable in nature. So, and for that only he gave some space also. He left one separate table here. He said that definition for that also. Noble gases can be placed over here, and this is his second attempt. This is his third important merit of his Mendeleev periodic table. By doing all of these experiments, he said a law called, he gave his law. What is that law? When you do all of this experiment, he said that when we arrange elements in increasing order of their atomic masses, then the properties of the elements are the periodic functions of their atomic masses. Periodic functions of their means after certain fixed period, so there is a repetition of the elements, repetition of the properties is taking place. It means what? After certain fixed time, let's say after some in first attempt we may find a repetition, we may start getting repetition after the 8th element, after that we started getting repetition of the 16th element, after that we started getting repetition after 32nd element, like that. So he said that. So we are seeing repetition of properties, we are seeing repetition in the properties of an element, repetition in the properties of an element after some period, which was repeating. So because of that only he used that periodic functions of their atomic masses. If you see this table, you can easily find out. See here in the first case, immediately after second element he started getting a element which is having similar properties. After that he didn't found, after two elements he didn't found a similar element which is showing similar property. After that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, so after 7 element, 8th element was started showing similar properties. After this here, after the 7 element, 8th element was showing similar properties. After from here 16th element, here the element was started showing its property, like that. So because of this nature, because he started getting a repetition in the properties after some fixed time, he gave this statement. Okay, when we arrange all the elements in increasing order of their atomic masses, so what happens? The properties of the elements will repeat after certain periods. Okay, he simply said that. So that we can put it like this. So when we arrange elements in increasing order of their atomic masses, the properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic masses. After some periods, we'll start getting repetition in the properties of the element. He said that. Okay, I hope you understood. Okay, we'll have bit rest here. Now we will see merits and demerits of a Mendeleev periodic table. So merits. Okay, the success of the table. Merit means what? Success. So success of the table. What all of the things he succeeded to establish using his table. So mainly first point here, we can see there was a regular gradation in the physical and chemical properties of elements. Right, we started getting a repetition of chemical properties and physical properties throughout the table. I already told you, right? Regular gradation and in physical and chemical properties of the elements. Regularly we started seeing metals, non-metals, and this person is succeeded to arrange them in a similar group. He succeeded to arrange almost 90%. He succeeded to arrange elements based on similar properties. So this was the main thing he kept in his mind, similar properties. To maintain the similar properties throughout in the table, sometime he adjusted the atomic masses. He adjusted his increasing atomic mass, the arrangement. He adjusted that arrangement. He violated his law only. He had two laws in his mind, right? First law has to arrange all the elements in increasing order of their atomic mass. This is the first law he kept in his mind. After that, before arranging, I should find similar properties. Elements has to place one below the other, and dissimilar properties has to place in the horizontal manner. Okay, first similar properties elements has to place one below the other. This was his mind, his idea. And dissimilar elements has to be placed horizontally. So sometime, but he gave more importance for the similarity properties. Okay, to maintain the similar property elements, to place the similar properties elements in the same group, sometime he violated his first law. What is the first law? Increasing order of atomic masses. Okay, once he arranged elements in this fashion, he found that the regular gradation in the physical and chemical properties of the elements throughout the table, that is repetition of the elements, that is the first merit he merit of this table. The second one, the group of element which indicates, see here, group of elements which indicates highest oxidation state that can attain. Okay, so highest oxidation, as of now you will not be able to see this oxidation state. That means it depends upon the valency, that we will see in the later part of this chapter. Okay, so that is not important, but for your 10th class you just remember this periodicity of proper periodicity in the properties of the element, and the third one merit here we have. This is very important. So even I told you, right, he left a lot of spaces, he left a lot of empty spaces. So if let's take that table here, yes, here, see here, he left an empty space here, you can see here. So he left some empty space, see here also empty slots. Why he left empty slots? He left lot of empty slots. Why? I already told you, because he found a large gap in the atomic masses. He found a large jump in atomic mass, that is a large difference in the atomic mass he found. So he thought that we may find elements which has a atomic mass in this range. So to offer a place for them, to afford a place for the futurely discoverable elements, he left a lot of space. And that one, what he write, he left a space, empty space, that has become his one more merit also. That has become its one more merit. Why? Because so later on what he was thinking, right, that proved to be right, because later we have discovered so many elements which can fit in the range of those gaps. For that he also conducted some experiment. He conducted experiment and he tried to give a definition for three empty slots. He even guessed their hydrides, even he guessed their oxides, that is chemical properties, and even he guessed that, and even he gave a definition for three empty slots, and even he guessed their atomic masses. Definitely they lie below like this. So for them, we can say these are the three names he has given: Eka, boron. These are the three elements he guessed in order to give a definition for his empty slots. And Eka aluminium, and Eka silicon. So he did various experiments, and he guessed hydrides of Eka boron oxides, and he guessed hydrides and oxides of Eka aluminium, and he guessed hydrides and oxides of Eka aluminium. And he said that in the future we are going to discover elements which has these three similar properties. That is proved also. In place of Eka boron, in place of Eka boron, we have found three elements. Okay, in place of Eka boron, whatever the properties he guessed for Eka boron, right? We found an element which has the same properties called as scandium. We found this element in the future afterwards. So whatever the properties he guessed for Eka boron, which was exactly matching to the properties of the scandium, which is discovered in the later. That's why his law, empty state and giving a definition, become a merit of this table, because this idea of Mendeleev got a great success in the future. Then he also named one element, that is Eka aluminium, and he also predicted the hydrides and oxides, that is chemical properties of Eka aluminium. Later in the future, we found an element which was having the same kind of properties. The Mendeleev gave it for Eka aluminium, that is called as gallium. Okay, that is called gallium. Gallium, which is discovered after this, but the properties of this element were predicted by the Mendeleev itself. Okay, he is just a Mendeleev become astrologer here. He became an astrologer and he predicted the chemical properties and everything of these three elements. Later on, his words are proved true also. We found an element scandium which has exact properties which were predicted for the Eka boron, and he predicted Eka aluminum, right? We found an gallium which was exact chemical properties which were predicted by the Mendeleev for the Eka aluminium. Then again we found one more element which has a similar properties predicted by Mendeleev for this Eka, what is this I wrote? Eka silicon I supposed to write. This is not Eka silicon. Okay, this is Eka boron, Eka aluminium and Eka silicon. Whatever we found an element which was showing same properties which were predicted by the Mendeleev for Eka silicon. We found an element which is having same kind of properties called as germanium. So these elements were identified later which were having same properties which are predicted by the Mendeleev. This is his greatest merit of the Mendeleev periodic table. See, it is not an easy task. Okay, he gave the definition for the C. Exactly below the aluminum we have empty space, and he gave definition for this empty space, and he gave definition for this empty space, and he gave a definition for this place also. And later and he named them as a Eka boron, Eka aluminium and Eka silicon. Later on what happened? We found that. So here 72 it is germanium. Okay, Eka boron, what we have exactly after the boron here below the boron, we found that exactly below the boron we found that scandium here, and here we found a gallium. Okay, later. So but this was predicted by Mendeleev periodic table very before only. He even predicted everything. He predicted the chemical properties of these elements before only, but later on we discovered those elements, and his idea become very great success here. This is his next one more important merit of his periodic table. Okay, let's take that. Okay, see here, there were many vacant spaces. He left see, let's take this point. Okay, he left many vacant spaces, that is empty spaces in Mendeleev periodic table for the element to be discovered. He named them Eka boron. He tried to give the definition for three empty spaces: Eka boron, Eka aluminium and Eka silicon. He also predicted the properties of these undiscovered elements, including atomic mass. He also predicted atomic masses, and that has been proved also. So later on we found scandium, gallium and germanium which was showing the same properties of Eka boron, Eka aluminium and Eka silicon. Okay, this is one of the greatest success of Mendeleev periodic table. And Mendeleev arrangement helped to correct the atomic masses of number of elements. And I will tell you here one thing, he corrected the atomic masses of some element also. Just a minute, I am getting one call. Okay, guys. Okay, the second important point here is, let me take that white space. Sorry. So let me remove this content. Sorry, because I want this table. Okay, I hope you understood this important merit, and this is going to be your important question for the boards also. For the boards, you get this question definitely. It is a very important question from this chapter. Okay. See, next important thing, this Mendeleev periodic table. Next important thing here, this Mendeleev periodic table. So it is too dark actually. Table. It's helped a lot to correct the atomic mass of some elements, to correct the atomic masses of few elements, which were which were wrong actually. So this Mendeleev periodic table arrangement corrected atomic mass, helped a lot in order to correct the atomic mass of few elements. Especially example, if we see the atomic mass of beryllium, atomic mass of beryllium earlier before Mendeleev periodic table, atomic mass of beryllium was considered as 13.5 before Mendeleev periodic table. It is before condition, before Mendeleev. So the atomic mass of beryllium, we were considering it as a 13.5. Once Mendeleev periodic table become, once he prepared this Mendeleev periodic table, this table helped us to correct the atomic mass of beryllium, which was corrected to 9.01. See, you can, now you can see the beryllium atomic mass of a beryllium is 9.01. This is corrected by Mendeleev periodic table. So this is one of the greatest, again a greatest merit and success of this table, which has corrected atomic masses of so many elements. So this is the one example. This is the one of the example of which the Mendeleev periodic table corrected the atomic mass. Earlier, the atomic mass of beryllium was treated as 13.5. Once the Mendeleev periodic table came, it adjusted, it corrected the atomic mass of beryllium to 9.01. Nowadays, the atomic mass of beryllium, still we are using 9.01. Earlier, before Mendeleev, we were using 13.5 as the atomic mass of a beryllium. That has actually, it was wrong, and that was corrected by Mendeleev periodic table. It is one of the greatest achievement of this table. And next, importantly, next we have, let's take that slide. Okay, Mendeleev arrangement. Okay, and so many like that, we have so many advantages we have got from the Mendeleev periodic table. And one more important that his achievement is merit of this table, merit of this his Mendeleev periodic table is, he left empty space. He left a separate space for noble gases, which we are going to discover in the future. Separate space for noble gases, which we are going to discover in noble gases, which we are going to discover in future. So going to discover in future. So he thought that the discovery of noble gases should not alter his table. For that, he left a separate space for accommodating noble gases in the future. This is also his one of the greatest achievement. Before him, So we had Newland and Dobrynin. They didn't worried about this. Newland, he even literally he said that we have only 53 elements and we are not going to discover any elements in the future. He said that statement, Newland. Okay, he even not worried. But this Mendeleev was completely open person. He thought he considered all the possibilities which are going to happen in the future. So because of that, he left a separate spaces for accommodating space for the noble gas in his table, noble gases in his table. Later on, that has been proved also. We have found a noble gases and we placed noble gases in the Mendeleev periodic table without disturbing the periodic table, the existing table. And he left a lot of spaces, empty spaces, in order to fill the large gap of atomic masses. He predicted he large gap of atomic masses. He left a lot of empty spaces. In that also he tried to give a definition for the 3 empty spaces. So that idea has also become a great success, and leaving a space for noble gases also become a great success. Okay, so next next we will see demerits of this guy. We do have a lot of merits. You are going to learn those things, few other more things in your higher classes. Now we will see demerits. Let me take that. Where was it? Demerits. Sorry. Let me take the slide. Demerits. Now you can see here. So first demerit, still it is a demerit of modern periodic table, that is the position of a hydrogen. Okay, first you can see, and we'll see it later. Now see, Mendeleev could not assign a correct position to hydrogen. This is still a problem of modern periodic table also. In the modern periodic table also, so we have not given correct place for the hydrogen. This is still a problem. Okay, so he has not given correct space for the hydrogen. Okay, that is the position of hydrogen itself is a demerit of modern periodic table as well as a Mendeleev periodic table. Mendeleev also failed to give a perfect position for hydrogen in his table. That is one. Why? Because hydrogen resembles, it has both the properties. Hydrogen looks like alkali metal as well as it looks like halogen. Okay, so the position of hydrogen is still a debatable, because the nature of the hydrogen is both, it looks like alkali metal as well as it looks like a halogen. Okay, that is one, because it makes I told you, right, halogens forms halides. Let's say chlorine forms chloride. In the same manner, this hydrogen forms hydride. Okay, and hydrogen is also electropositive element. It work as a it is also called as a metal. It looks like a metal also, and the position of hydrogen is still, it is a debatable in the modern periodic table also. And Mendeleev was failed to give a perfect position for the hydrogen in his table. And the second one I told you, right, he left a lot of empty spaces. That has become his demerit also. Oh, sorry, 1 minute. Isotopes had to given the same position in the periodic table, though isotopes of the same elements have different atomic masses. Mendeleev failed to give a accommodate isotopes in his table. It is his second disadvantage. And it was observed that at certain places elements of higher atomic mass, let's say cobalt, has been placed before lower atomic mass, let's say nickel. We'll see that some elements placed in some same subgroup varies in their properties. Example, manganese is placed with the halogens, okay, which totally differ in properties. Let's see these. Okay, let's understand these properties. Okay, see here. The first demerit, let me write here. First one is position of hydrogen. So still it is a problem. It is the position of hydrogen is still debatable. Mendeleev didn't give a right position for the hydrogen. Why? Because hydrogen, see, if you this hydrogen what we have, so it is looks like very same. These are the I told you, right, oxide. This is the formula of oxide. This is the formula of hydride. See here, this is RORH2. So the element, if you see exactly below hydrogen what we have, see here, hydrogen and lithium and all of these have a same hydride and oxide formulas. Okay, see, if you see here, and he has divided the table into subgroups. This is group 1. Okay, and he has divided the table into 2 subgroups. Every group is divided into 2 subgroups. You can able to see here. Okay, group 1 is divided into 2 subgroups. Group 2 is also divided into subgroup AB, 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 and group 8 is not divided into subgroups. Okay, because he left, as I told you, right, he left a space for accommodating halogens. Okay, that's why he didn't divided this 8th group into subgroups. Okay, to accommodate space for the halogens which are going to discover in noble gases which are going to discover, not halogens. Where it is, not halogens, noble gases which are going to discover in the future, and that has become great success also, as we saw in the merits. Position of a hydrogen is not given properly by the Mendeleev. And the second one, I told you, right, he left a lot of empty spaces. That has become one more demerit of this table. He left plenty of, he left many undefined empty spaces. Undefined. He didn't give one definition for all the empty spaces. He just gave one definition for only 3 empty slots. After that he left many. See here, he gave definition for this one, this empty slot and this empty slot, but he was not able to give a definition for the other empty slots who left in he left in his table. So that has become his one more demerit. He left many undefined empty slots. That is his one more demerit of this table, empty slots. He was not able to give one. He didn't give definition for these empty slots. He gave only definition for those 3 empty slots, that is Eka boron, Eka aluminum and Eka silicon. Okay, next one is his table. What he did, sometime in order to maintain the similar properties, Mendeleev crossed his law itself. He didn't obey his law itself. The table didn't obey his law itself. Obeyed his law of arranging elements in increasing order of their atomic masses. Sometime what happened in some place in the table, so lower atomic mass elements, order of their atomic mass. Sometime what happened in order to maintain the similar properties, lower atomic mass elements were placed after the higher atomic mass elements, If you see the table clearly here, cobalt and nickel, if you see here, so the atomic mass of a cobalt is more than the atomic mass of a nickel. Atomic mass of a cobalt is more than atomic mass of a nickel. So in order to maintain the increasing order of their atomic mass, we supposed to write nickel and then we supposed to write cobalt. But in order to maintain the similar properties, what he did, he adjusted something. He disobeyed his law itself. He disobeyed his law only. So to maintain the similar properties, what he did, he placed an cobalt before nickel, because so in order to maintain the similar properties of the elements. See here, the cobalt atomic mass is 58.93 and the atomic mass of nickel is 58.71. So this is lower, right? 58.71 is less than this. Okay, 58.93 is actually more than this. In order to maintain increasing order of their atomic masses, we supposed to place nickel and then we supposed to place cobalt according to his law of placing elements, arranging elements in increasing order of their atomic masses. But in order to maintain this similar properties, in order to group the elements who are having similar properties in the same group, he disobeyed his law itself, and what he did, he placed cobalt before nickel. That has become his one more disadvantage. Okay, then what he did, one more important disadvantage of Mendeleev periodic table is, let me remove this. I hope you guys understood. And he was not able to give position for the isotopes. The Mendeleev periodic table get failed to provide position for the isotopes. So what do you mean by isotope? Isotopes are going to have definitely they are going to have a same atomic number. They will have a same atomic number and different atomic masses. Different atomic mass. Atomic mass. Same atomic number, different atomic mass. So I'll take on an example and I will give you clarification regarding this. So let's erase some more space I want for this. Mendeleev periodic table was not able to give space for the, it failed to provide space for the isotopes. Let's take hydrogen. The atomic number of hydrogen is 1, but it has 3 isotopes of it. Let's say H 1 2, that is 1 proton but 2 neutron, and hydrogen of 1 3, that's 1 proton and 3 neutrons, and hydrogen, that is only one simple thing, 1 proton and 1 neutron. So these are the 3 different isotopes of hydrogen. Let's say proterium, deuterium and tritium. Proterium, deuterium and tritium. Proterium, these are the 3 isotopes of hydrogen: proterium, deuterium and tritium. So he didn't worried about this. He didn't given space for accommodating the isotopes of these elements. Here 1.008 hydrogen. After the hydrogen, he allocated lithium, and he didn't given any space between them. Okay, to accommodate this. Here hydrogen has same atomic number, but they have a different atomic masses, so that I can place 3 hydrogens. I should place 3 hydrogens. Before that, how he has to arrange? Actually, he has to take 3 slots for hydrogen. After taking 3 slots for hydrogen, he has to go for lithium. That he has not did that. That he didn't did that, because his idea was wrong itself. His idea was arranging elements in increasing order of their atomic mass itself is a wrong statement. Why? Because we are going to see a different masses for one element itself. Suppose if you take carbon, it has 3 important isotopes. Carbon 12 we have, carbon 13 we have, carbon 14 we have. So atomic masses of all these 3 are different. In a single slot we have, he placed only 1 carbon isotope here. He didn't given space for 2 carbons. Here only he placed carbon 12, but he didn't given space for carbon 13 and carbon 14. So in carbon 14 means what? If he is supposed to give a space for carbon 14, in nitrogen he is supposed to place carbon 14 here. So nitrogen will go to the 15. Then the atomic mass of nitrogen is 14. This is the one of the most disadvantage of the demerit of this Mendeleev periodic table. That's why Mendeleev periodic table was not able to give a space for the isotopes. See, not only carbon, every element has its isotopes. Okay, C12, carbon 12, carbon 13, carbon 14 are the isotopes. Their atomic number is remain same. Their atomic number is remain same. Atomic number is 6 only, but their atomic mass is different. So here carbon 12 atomic number is also 6. Here it is also 6, it is also 6, but their atomic mass is different. So if we is trying to arrange elements in increasing order of their atomic mass, carbon itself going to have 3 slots. That is 12 atomic mass number slot, 13 atomic mass number slot, and 14 atomic mass. In all these 3 slots, he is going to get a carbon only. But where he can place that sodium, what we have, which is also having 14 atomic mass, then there is a ambiguity here. Ambiguity will create. So that's why Mendeleev periodic table get failed. Mendeleev periodic table get failed to accommodate or provide space. It get failed to provide space for the isotopes. Failed to provide position for the isotopes. Okay, because he didn't worried about it. His idea of arranging elements in increasing order of their masses itself is wrong. So later on, the one more guy came into the picture and he corrected it and he made a modern periodic table which we using right now. Okay, I hope you understood merits and demerits of Mendeleev periodic table. Today we will stop here only. Tomorrow we will continue. In the next class we will continue to the modern periodic table. Thank you for the day.